Hello everyone, it's me, Mary or Hawk. Welcome back to another video. Quick disclaimers before I begin. Be respectful. Bigotry and intolerance is unwelcome here. Also, if you don't like background noise in the background of YouTube videos, this is not the channel for you, unfortunately, at this time. I live in an apartment underneath two hyperactive toddlers, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that because they're not my kids. Anyways, also I am autistic and ADHD, so I have to kind of look off the script in order to be on track. Likewise, this is all subjective and food for thought. Some of the influences behind this video were my autism and ADHD, my neurodevelopmental disabilities, and also my life experiences as a result of, well, my brain being the way it is. Also, I was really tapping into my intuition and channeling higher consciousness when I wrote what I'm about to say, and yes, I was also under the influence a little bit of some special bud, if you can catch my drift. Special bud really helped me get into this flow state. Although substances are not necessary for channeling higher consciousness or intuition, they can aid in helping you see a different perspective, to put it lightly. With that being said, let's get into this message. And yes, if this triggers something within you, take notes of what it might trigger inside of you. My messages, my words, not quite mine, it's more downloaded, it's more from source, the messages that the collective needs to hear right now, but I think you get what I'm getting at. Get a notebook or a little pen and pad of paper down and write all of the feelings that you get when you hear what I'm about to say. With that being said, now that we're almost 2 minutes in, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, this intuitive message that I have to share with you all. The tower may be crumbling, and buying into the hopeless feelings and cheap temptation may be easy. Though it's important to also recognize that there are still glimmers of hope. Even after Pandora opened the box, hope is still left inside. We collectively can make a better future. Even though the possibilities and uncertainties are scary, it is worth it in the end. Also, just because something happens to be the status quo or the way of doing things doesn't mean it should or even has to remain so. I felt intuitively called to post this. Honestly, there's no mistake that the devil and the star flank either side of the tower in tarot if you're not shuffling and are instead looking at the major arcana chronologically or in order. If you look at it in order, you see that on either side of the tower there is the devil and the star. It's easy to slide into that temptation, to despair, to catastrophize and exacerbate an already not ideal situation. But there is also the opportunity for hope. So have hope, even if it is difficult. Despairing doesn't necessarily help anyone, although admitting and recognizing you are despairing or close to it is also important. Please, feel your feelings, but do your best to not let them entirely consume you or restrict your paths forward in life, although that is admittedly a lot easier said than done. Trust me, I know from personal experience. Additionally, it's important to recognize that death and decay, whether literal or metaphorically, is required for new life to flourish. So please try to avoid doing anything you would regret. Don't do anything too impulsively, if you can catch my drift. But think about it. The decay of certain systems, the decay of what is literally dead, is required for new life to flourish. We must let the aspects of the status quo that we hate and are told to accept as just life or the system that we live in to decay and be let go, released, so that we may grow and create a brighter future for all of Earth's inhabitants. Those dreams you have, the ones you are told that are too idealistic or naive, are sometimes a glimpse into what things could be, in my opinion. And I feel like this message definitely needs to be heard by some people. That we can work together to create a brighter future where hate, bigotry, intolerance, supremacy culture, and division do not reign. We can create a brighter, accommodating, and loving future, even if it requires us, each individually, to embark on our own inner healing journeys to dissolve the hate that others have ingrained into us. Doing that work, if enough of us do it, will create a profound ripple effect in our societies. We don't have to continue down the path that we are all on right now, collectively. We don't have to continue the hate, the feelings of false superiority or inferiority about other people, the bloodshed or the violence or the division or the corruption or the bigotry. We aren't required to continue those cycles. We are all organic life here on this planet that we all call home. Even if there are, and I mean, even if there are those looking for an escape, we can address or fix a lot more than we think we are capable of. We can stop valuing cheap profit for the 1% above the rest of the life here on this planet. We don't have to continue these harmful cycles. At some point, we have to shake things up and cause these systems that keep us divided, oppressed, and hurt to experience sudden upheaval, a collective tower moment, if you will, for the better. And the tower reminds me of a black mold-infested building. There may be many emotional attachments to that building. That building may be old and have history, but it needs to come down so that a safer place for all may be built for those that enter. So think about it. There's a black mold infested building, no matter the history, no matter the emotional ties, no matter what you may feel about it, it must come down and be rebuilt anew so it may be a newer, safer, more sustainable environment for all that may enter it. It is necessary. What goes up must come down. With that being said, when will the powers that be in this world allow the dead horse that they beat in order to keep us divided and ensure they have power at the expense of all this planet's inhabitants to decompose and decay? It is through death and letting go and decay or dissolving that new, more sustainable life may flourish. The nutrients that remain from what was will propel us forward into a new, more sustainable future. We can learn, we can grow, and transform our world for the better. Just because something is the status quo doesn't mean it should or even has to remain so. We can work together to build a better future for all of this planet's inhabitants. It's not easy or simple, but some things are simply worth it. And why do we have to be divided by hate, bigotry, and prejudice? Different isn't always inherently bad. We fear what we do not know, but what is stopping us from knowing more truly, intimately, and with sincerity and love? What is truly stopping us? We can have that better future for all of us. And honestly, I hope that I brought anyone who read this or listened to this, if you saw this same post on Threads, some much needed nuggets of wisdom or food for thought. Why is it that we feel so glued to a status quo that harms so many? We can change it if enough of us act and work together in community. Yes, including working with those that may be different from you, albeit in ways that aren't overtly harmful or bigoted. You know what I mean. We need to come together. We may not always agree, but it would be nice if people could come together for a better future for all the Earth's inhabitants. Because again, just because something is the status quo does not mean it should or even has to remain so. If we can dream it, we can create a better future. We can create that better future. I may be a dreamer, but so are you. Each person, every single person on this life, spends roughly about a third of their life sleeping and about 6 years combined dreaming. Like the 6 years dreaming of that 1/3 sleeping of our lives. Sometimes even more or less depending on the person. But my point is, we can all dream. We can all make our dreams a reality if we really wanted to. We could really make a better future for all if we all work towards it. So please, just be the change you want to see in this world. Act with love. Act with compassion. Not everything has to be divide and conquer. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video and my messages. Have a wonderful day.